and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I'm going to give myself up a big diamond painting today. So this is one that I've got fairly recently from Fansales, and it's 45 by 85 is the canvas size. The drill area is a bit smaller, but let me zoom you out actually. I've zoomed in for the purposes of kitting up, but to zoom out, that is the painting itself. So I'm going to be kitting up this one because I'm going to work on this one in with some small ones. So I'm going to do some sections on the big one and then switch it up by moving to another painting of another colour, and then I'm going to switch back to the big one and so on. I quite like to do that if I've got a big one, you know, that I'm not like I want to do it, but I'm not like over eager to do it and, you know where it's going to go and all that sort of stuff. Whereas this one, I'm kind of thinking I might display it at Christmas, but I'm not quite sure where. So I'd like to get it done, but I'm not in a major rush. And if I decide where it's going to go, then I'll be in a rush and I want to do it all. So yeah, I kind of like to have a big one on the go as well as some small ones to work on. So anyway, I digress. So it's a lot of blues and whites, and these are all the diamonds. Okay, let's get that crinkly paper out of the way. And as we can see, we have a lot of colours that there are more than one of. We have a lot that are duplicated, but they are all sort of in these single packages. Now I'm going to use this 30 bottle storage container. I kind of wish it was blue because then it would match the painting, but it's not. So I'm going to use this 30 bottle one, though it only has 22 colours. But I do think rather than keeping the extras in here as well, because for example this number one, I actually have 6 packets. I don't want to take up what's probably going to be 5 or 6 bottles just with that one colour. I think I'm going to do what I normally do with something bigger and pop them into like this little pouch. So this one actually came with sort of a toolkit set. It is half of an A5 size, so I think that makes it an A6. It will actually fit into the top of this 30 bottle case, which is quite nice. I could just throw them into there separate, but sometimes if the lid drops, they can fall out, and that's just the way that I diamond paint. I have my sort of diamonds on my little mini Rascod cart that I can never remember the name of the mini one, but I have the small one, and these sit on there perfect, but sometimes the lid will drape down a bit, and if it does, the diamonds can drop out. Of course, if you work on a desk where you can prop it, that won't be an issue for you. So I'm going to pop them into here. So I think I am just going to work quite simply. So these only have numbers 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me get this painting up off the floor where I've just popped it. So I just popped it on the floor out of the way, but I actually think I'm going to need to keep it a bit closer. So let me just turn it around. Okay, because I'm probably likely to start from the bottom anyway, but I'm just going to tuck the bottom of the canvas here so that I can just cross-check my numbers. Because this only has number 1 on it, and my labels have the symbol and the DMC number, which is, in this case, is the letter M and then 310. I need the number 1 on the canvas just to check. And I haven't put them on here because I don't see the point in having them on the labels at all, because once this is kitted up, I'll just have to cross-reference this. So let me firstly check that 1 full bag will fit in 1 pot. I'm really hoping that they do. I think that's about my line, that when I take this out, it's a full pot. Oh, couldn't be any better. Oh, I say it couldn't be any better. I've just thrown a load everywhere. They will all still fit though. I'm making a mess, people. Okay, let me get these rogue ones in. I obviously, because I'm not stood up at the moment, I wasn't leant over my funnel. I didn't realise there was quite so many in there. Okay, so one bag has filled one pot. Awesome. That is exactly what I wanted to do. So what I can do now is I am actually going to cut these up just because I think they'll sit in the bag a little bit nicer. And it's less messing about when I actually do the painting. I'm just going to pop all these in here. And when that one runs out, I will of course be able to check on the symbol, find out what number it is and find the bag in here. That's the idea. Okay, so number 2 is this sticker. Now at least they're all sort of connected. So I'm going to cut off all the number 2s. I'm going to cut off one for using now. And I'm going to put the other 2 away in that bag. And then of course when I get to number 3 I can cross check as I pull the number label off. Oh, this one's even more borderline. They are done by weight, these, so please tell me you're still going to fit. Yes, it still fit. Okay, I'm still happy. I am so glad I used these bigger pots and didn't go for something that was smaller. Okay, number 3 to confirm is number 318. And we do only have one bag of number 3. So I don't think there's too many numbers that we have multiple bags. I'm just kind of hoping this one's not major full now either. Oh, that one is. Okay, is it going to fit or not? Or are we going to have a problem? Do I need to find some baggies? I need to find some baggies, people. Look, that I'm not even going to get the lid on that. Okay. Rethink. Okay, let me just grab some baggies. This is the only problem when it's done by weight. So, these are just some spare misshaped baggies. Well, misshaped. They're a different shape to the ones I use in my spare diamonds. Is there any more still stuck in there? Okay. Let me get these picked up. Okay, so in this instance, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to create myself a label for this bag. So for this one, I'm just going to put 318, which is the DMC number. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's easier for me to have the DMC number anyway. I just don't want to put these into separate bags to then put a sticker on it because that seems pointless. But I'm putting 318 on it because while there is a lot of these could be my spares. I may still only use what's in this pot, and if I do, I want to make sure that I know where they go in my spare storage if they got separated, missing, or something happened. So, okay, let's see if we can make this get any better. Okay, so number 4 is 334. This bag doesn't look as full. Let's hope we don't make a mess. Okay, so I need to pay attention to how full my funnel gets because I can get, if I remember rightly, it's just about part way through that line at the bottom and still fit everything in the pot. So as long as it stays lower than that, I should be good. Okay, so D336 is number 5, which is the next bag I have. This one's not full to bursting. We'll be fine with this one. The next one, maybe not, but we'll see. with big paintings, you quite often end up with, you know, extra, more than fits in these small tubs. Sometimes I use the Elizabeth Ward storage, but I haven't used this 30 bolt case yet, so I kind of wanted to. Okay, pay attention to this one. Okay, so I'm thinking that is pretty much either full or too full. And I think I tipped out a bit too many. So I'm going to keep the funnel there, while with my right hand I grab a baggie. Oh, this is turning into an entertaining kitting up, isn't it? And then I'm going to move it to my left hand and I'm going to scoot. Okay, and that I could have lost a lot more than 3. In fact, there's one teetering on the edge. Okay, so we are going to have fun with this kitting up, people, because I've already had 2 bags explode on me because they're done by weight. So that one was a 414. This is where I need to make sure that I don't smudge my labels, because I haven't given them time to dry like I have with my others. Okay, I'm just going to sit them out and let them dry. Okay, so 415 is number 7. By the time I gauge whether these bags are too full or not, I'll probably be at the end of the amount of colours I need to do. It's normally the way it works, isn't it? This bag's fine. It's got loads of breathing room, which means it'll fit in this tub fine. Come on. I suppose at least the ones that I have multiple bags of are less in weight. So next one, 500, number 8. Oh, we should be fine with this one. Do we think? I think that one might be a bit borderline. Have a few easy ones now, lull me into a bit of confidence, and then all of a sudden I'll get one that's too full and they'll explode everywhere again. Okay, 597, which is F, and it's number 9, which is the next bag we have. I like it when the bags go in number order and they're not all mixed up. Come on. Got my little rubbish tub just to try and keep my mess contained. And then 762. Ooh, that label went on a bit not in the middle. Let's try that again. Still not perfect, but it's better. So number 10. This one's a lot lighter as well. Thought I hadn't cut the slit open enough to actually get them in then. There we go. Okay. 775. This is just me checking as well. I have actually written all the labels in the same order that they are. But if I'm going to do the double checking and triple checking, I'd rather do it when I'm kitting up. Even if I'm checking stuff that I've already done, then find it's wrong halfway through the painting, or even after doing an hour or so of painting. So 799, it is the star, and it is number 12. So I'm cross-checking my label. I'm also cross-checking the packet before I put it in. And so far, so good. Apart from a bit of mess, but you know, we cleared it up. We tidied up after ourselves, or I did. Okay, we have a very full bag here. So I'm going to get myself prepared in case I tip too many in. I'm going to have the bag nearby. So this one is R number 823, which is right, and it's bag number 13. So it's very full, so I'm going to have to make sure that I don't go too much above that line that I said in my funnel. That means when I move my funnel, they're still all in the tub, which I think is about there. If I'm actually paying attention, that is a full pot. See, look, when I pay attention, it fits. So that is right. Tip the rest into there, and I could actually just have put the whole bag in, but I didn't do it for the others, so I'm on a roll now. So 8, 2, 3. Pop that on there. Okay. Next pot, we're on 8, 2, 4. And I'm on a new strip of these, so 824 is number 14, and I have 3 bags of these, and they don't feel as full as the other one. You can see there's a lot more room in them. So 2 of them will go into my spares, and 1 of them we're hoping will all fit. I'm hoping that the ones that they've made sort of really full, yeah, will fit. The ones that they've made really full are ones that aren't quite close to being 2 bags. They've pushed it a little bit, but in the case of my tubs, it's pushed it a little bit too far. So we'll put those in that bag. Let's move those spare ones. Okay, so equal sign is 3743, yes, and it's bag number 15. Yes. I like it when the answer is yes, yes, yes. There we go. And I'm hoping that by the time this video has gone up on my channel and you've seen this kitting up, that I've actually managed to start it. But time will tell. Okay, so number 16, question mark 3752. This one is a little bit fuller, but it might fit in. So I'm going to pay attention. Oh. It's going to be very close because I'm very near the top line. Let's see if I've pushed it too far. Just make sure that they're all going down. No, just. I always try not to have over stuff if I can help it. If I can get it in a pot, all the better. So T is 3755 and it's number 17. And I'm throwing stuff everywhere. This one's got a lot more room. So we're good. And then 3756 is the dot, and it's number 18. Sorry about that, my memory card filled up. So, okay, I've changed my memory card, but I am just going to double check again. Dot 3756, bag number 18. So it's always worth doing those little checks, even if you're just doing them in your head while you're kitting something up. Then do a big batch of painting and find that you've put the wrong one on. I'm just going to grab my other rubbish tub as well, because even though one's flattened, this won't take much space. It's sliding out the bowl. Okay, so we've only got 4 more. So we've got 3799 is G, yes, number 19. Oh, we're good with this bag. This bag will be completely fine. We have got one more that we've definitely got extras of, but I don't think we've got any more that's going to make me make a mess. So sorry to all those. I could still make a mess, but sorry to all those that are expecting it. So we've got 3808K and it's number 20. I like that colour. It's a very deep tealy, greeny, bluey. Very nice. Okay, then we've got 3810, which is symbol C. Yes. And it's bag number 21. Oh, having said that, this is quite a full bag. I think we might be all right, but it's quite a full bag. So I'm going to pay attention. Oh yeah, we're okay. That was deceiving. I thought that was going to be a little bit more borderline. And then last one is, in this one is 5200 or B5200, which is white. Now these seem quite full, but there is 3 of them. So pay attention to, I'm hoping this doesn't end up being over. No, this should be right. So I've not quite gone up to the line that makes it too full when I take the funnel out. No, we're good. So that's B5200, and I'm going to chop these up and put them in. Let's get rid of my funnel. So we'll pop those in as well. So I have ended up with a few extra colours, but really for a painting this size, it's not surprising. We put in my other bags as well. I say this is quite a small one. This is just an A6 size. This is really handy when you have spares overflow for a painting. You know, of course, unless you're talking one that's 200 by 100. It might be a little bit different. But this one is really handy for overflow for a painting that you're doing. The A5 size is the ones that I prefer for holding the whole kit of paintings, especially if they come in separate baggies. Okay, so that sticker sheet is done with. That is this one all kitted up. I do have spare pots, but I have too many diamonds to make it worth it. I could have potentially, the ones that I put into baggies, I could have potentially put them in here, but then I would have had extras in 2 different places. To me, it makes more sense to have them in one. And I've just popped them in this bag so that if that falls down, it's either the whole bag that falls out rather than a load of separate packets. Because who has the time for picking all them up? It isn't closing wonderful. If I'm working on this, then, you know, I'd say I'm going to be flipping between working on this and not. So because this is quite bulky, when I'm working on this, I may just stack them 2 separate. But when I go to use it, I'll tuck that in and let it sit there. Of course, there will come a point once I've got part way up the painting that lid will shut and zip up, and then of course I'll keep them all together. So my extra baggies that I now don't need, they're just a variety of sizes. They're not the ones that I put my spare diamonds in. Okay, so for the actual prep for the painting itself, it does come with a clear cover. I am going to start at the bottom. Actually, am I going to start at the bottom or am I going to start at the top? See, I quite often start at the bottom of a painting. But of course, as I do this one, I'm going to be leaning on the diamonds more. But it's prettier at the top, isn't it? It's got a lot more to it at the top, but then again, it's got a lot of black at the top. Which end do I start? I sort of need to make a decision. So if I start at this top end, then on my knee will be empty diamond painting and hanging over the edge of my table, because I work on a little table in my living area. Okay, I think I'm going to have to start at the top for practicality wise, though I would prefer to start at the bottom. And the reason I'd prefer to start at the bottom is it is a bit more boring at the bottom. So when I start a painting, you've got the excitement of starting a painting. Then again, I could turn it upside down. Yeah, I'm going to stick with starting at the bottom. The reason being is I like to start on a painting. If it's something like this, I like to start at the boring part. The reason being is I don't so much mind doing the more boring part when I'm first starting a painting because it's exciting. And then I like to get to the more interesting part and the more fun part, you know, maybe when I'm lagging a little bit. And I start, while I have a lot of black here in the middle, as I'm starting to lag here, it's getting a lot more interesting and confetti. And I'm going to really see the image come into life, which will spur me on to finish to the top. Whereas if I was working my way down, I'd start getting to this blacky bit here and I'd be like, oh, okay, I can see the deer now. I really can't be bothered doing this. And it might stop me. So I'm going to do it this way. When it gets to the point that it's starting to come off the table and go onto my knee, I will either turn it sideways or I will turn it around and work on it upside down. I think that's what I'm going to do. So with one this big, I definitely do not have enough cover sheets available at the moment to work on one this big and put cover sheets on it all. Plus I like to roll up the end part, but I much prefer working with cover sheets on paintings because with the clear cover, because you can see everything, I start finding myself chasing myself around the painting. I've recently been doing one where I didn't put these cover sheets on and I'm finding myself going all over the place and I'm not actually concentrating on getting a section done. So cover sheets need to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 2 rows of cover sheets. I'm just trying to make sure it's flat because I've rolled it up at the bottom here and this was the tighter roll. Just need to flatten it a little bit underneath. And that will be flat by tomorrow. Even if I just put my light pad on the top of it, it'll flatten that section by tomorrow. Plus, I haven't got many more cover sheets anyway. Too many paintings on the go. So, I will just leave that as 2 because the rest is going to be rolled. And then when I do this row, as soon as I finish this row, this first row, I will move these up to the next row and I will just continue to move them up that way. So that's the way I tend to work with bigger paintings, is I'll do a row and then I'll put those 4 that I've taken off onto the next one. And for this, what I'll do now, if I can stop it sticking back on itself and get it to go flat, thank you, is I will just trim this off with a little bit of overhang because I don't want to mess it up and end up with bits that aren't covered, is I'll just cut that section off. So I've only got a little bit there, but of course before I get to this row I will have moved the next row and I'll have cut another piece off, so it'll never get in my way, but I've got a section to start with. And that's how I tend to work with the bigger ones, is I'll just use 2 rows worth and I'll move them up as I go along. And that just means that I can concentrate on what I'm doing without getting distracted by what's up here. As long as there's that cover sheet in the way, I won't get distracted by what's up here. And even if this one's sort of close, then I might just take that straight off, put it there, tuck it under, and that makes me concentrate on this bit, and then I'll do the same with the next one. So that's what works for me. Otherwise I find myself that it's just a little bit of chasing and I just go and that's, I just end up with loads of gaps, and it just ends up annoying me that I don't feel as though I'm progressing, because all I've got is a load of diamonds all over the place and I can't say that's done. And I feel like I've never quite finished a section. But I say, you know, everybody works different and everybody thinks different, but that's my thinking when I do it. Also, when I'm not quite sure what colour to start with, I always start with the one in the bottom left. Don't ask me why, I'm right-handed, but I still always start the bottom left. I think that's why I like this size of sticker sheet, because I can quite often be placing and not necessarily resting on the sticky a lot. I always start here, and that symbol I will do in all of that, and then I will move to the next symbol across and do all of it, and I'll carry on that way. Anyway, that's enough of how I diamond paint. Of course, you know, there is no right or wrong way, but that is my big one kitted up. Hopefully I will be able to show you it completed soon, because of course this has been kit up and the video's not gone up yet, but it all depends whether I actually get to start placing diamonds with it. Time will tell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.